Hey there, Taylor Elwood here, your mad scientist and magical experimenter. And today I want to tell you a story about an experience that I had recently which really illustrates the concept of being in tune with magic. It's not a story of active magic. It wasn't like I was actively doing something, but it was nonetheless an amazing experience because of all of the ways that certain situations basically aligned and got set up in just the right way. So what happened is that the 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 car that I have had an issue, and the issue is the starter. Now, if you're familiar with a car, you basically know that when you start a car, it either starts or it doesn't start. Like, you really don't have any warning sign that your starter isn't going to work. And so the other night, I tried to start the car in the parking lot. I'd been out with my family, had some nice food, tried to start it, and it finally started. Got home. Thought, yeah, there's something there, but maybe it's just, maybe it's the battery, maybe it's something else, wasn't sure. The next day I went to try, now bear in mind, my car was now parked at home. I went to start the car, and lo and behold, the starter wasn't working. The car wasn't turning on. Now, the air conditioning worked, the power seating worked, the power windows worked, so there's power, but the car itself was not starting. Now, you might say at this point, okay, well, where's the magic in all this, Taylor? And here's where the magic is. If there was a place that this problem was going to happen, having it happen at home was the best possible place, because I wasn't stranded somewhere. So, that in and of itself, though, wasn't necessarily, that's just one little nice, convenient thing. That's a coincidence, right? We just happened to be home. Then I call AAA up, and I get them to come and pick up the car. And the guy who comes has actually owned 5 different Toyotas. Those are the only cars that he's ever really liked, and my car happened to be a Toyota. So he takes a look to see if he can get it started. No, it isn't working. He's like, yeah, it's probably your starter. And he says, but your battery also is dying. You need a new battery. There's battery acid. Okay, that's not good. But again, here's where the one person who comes, the Toyota driver, happens to be someone who drives Toyotas. That's the car he prefers to drive. Okay? So, second coincidence. Well, third, we take the car to my garage. Now, my garage is closed on Saturdays and Sundays, so, I didn't think there was going to be anyone there. We get there, and someone's there. And they say, hey, I'll take a look at this car and let you know what the problem is on Monday. But here's the cool thing, the person was there. It wasn't that I was dropping the car off, there was somebody actually there. They were able to look at it that day, so that I was basically able to call on Monday morning today and find out what was going on and get it taken care of. Third coincidence. Well, here's the thing about magic. Something happening in your favor once, that is coincidence. But when you start to stack stuff up and things start to occur, what ends up happening is you find that you have a multitude of coincidences. That's actually synchronicity. And this is really a form of magic that's really about being in tune with the right time and space for things to happen. My car not working, the best time and space for that to not be working was at my home. And it happened on a weekend. Again, good timing, really, because, it's not like I needed to go anywhere for the weekend. The second thing was that the person who came and looked at it initially, the AAA driver, was somebody who only owned Toyotas, and so was very familiar with the type of car and the eccentricities. And the third thing was the fact that there was somebody at the garage that Saturday, so they were able to diagnose the problem right away. And so that Monday, I was able to pick up my car, in the morning and have the work done a lot quicker than it might have been done otherwise. Stacking the deck and our odds, stacking the deck of possibility and reality in our favor sometimes can be as simple as simply being in the right place and right time, and being in touch with magic enough to make sure that the right place and time happens when you have situations occur. This isn't something talked about a lot in magical work, but nonetheless that it is true. that you can line situations up so that if something's going to happen, you can at least stack it as much in your favor as possible. And this is one of the ways that I prefer to work with magic. I didn't know what was going to happen to the car. I really had no idea that it was going to not work. But but when it turned out that the car wasn't working, to have all of those things occur one in a row where there was very favorable circumstances for me, that's a form of magic. It wasn't necessarily me even doing magic so much as it was me being in touch with the field of possibilities and setting things up so that for what the situation was, I could make it as favorable as possible for myself and make it work for me instead of working against me. And that is part of how you stack the deck in your favor when it comes to stacking the deck of possibility and reality. Anyway, just wanted to share that as an example, and talk to you later.